Hey everyone, welcome to sunny, beautiful Bournemouth. You can see Bournemouth Pier in the near distance. Behind that, Boscombe Pier. In the distance, the little outlet is Hengistbury Head, and then over there, which you might not see on this camera despite its excellent quality, is the Isle of Wight and the famous polar bear at the end of the Isle of Wight. Let me see if I can zoom in slightly and maybe it will pick it up a little bit better. So, first thing you're probably going to notice is I'm not using my phone anymore. I have purchased at great expense a new camera and I'm very happy with it. I've done some experiments over the last few days and the picture quality, as I'm sure will show, is absolutely amazing. Secondly, I want to say a big thank you, and I'm going to read the message out. One second, let me just find it. I'll read the message. Hi Scott, really enjoyed your walk around Oxford. I've been to Oxford many years ago. More recently went to Birmingham Botanical Gardens. Fantastic place like Oxford, steeped in history. Keep up the good videos you do. I really do enjoy them. Don't know if you realise, but you're helping a lot of people like myself who are disabled and can't walk much. That's from Paul Etheridge. Paul, thank you for that, mate. I needed that. This video is going to be plant and tree based. I am right next to in the dip here, a chine called Alum Chine, and just below me there is Alum Chine Tropical Garden. So this video is going to be a walk through there. It's probably going to take about 10 minutes just to give everybody a look at some of what Bournemouth has to offer. I've spoken about launching a new channel, and that channel is now live. That will contain a lot more videos of me out and about finding stuff of interest. If you would like to follow that channel, it's simply titled Scott Matthews Explores. As it stands, have 0 followers, and there's one video up there. I've got another 2 to upload, and there'll be plenty more to come of a much higher quality too. So if you do like these sort of style of videos, please do give that channel a follow. Yeah, that'd be a great help to me, psychologically more than anything. So I've been down in Bournemouth for a while now, and it's one of my favourite places in the UK. But enough about the ocean. Let's go and look at the tropical gardens and Alum Chine itself. Okay, so this is the top entrance to the gardens, and from my understanding, and just a little bit of the reading I've done, the gardens are over 100 years old. They were established in the 1920s. Because Bournemouth has a slightly warmer climate than certainly the Midlands where I live currently, there's a lot of exotic plants that grow in this area. So when I lived in Bournemouth, I discovered this place totally by accident, and it quickly grew to be one of my favourite little walks. Incredibly steep, I'm not sure if the camera's capturing this. It grew to be one of my favourite walks because most of the people in the area who live here do not know it exists. So I was checking my Instagram the other day, and I can see I took some, it looks like I was here in, I think, 2021, and took some really high quality photos. There's squirrels absolutely everywhere in Bournemouth. It's overrun with them. And they're very, very timid. They will, if you've got some nuts or other bits of food, they will come up to you and take it out of your hand. So I had to look at what a chine is, because Bournemouth has several chines, like little inlets, and the precise definition is a coastal ravine, which is where a stream of some sort back in the day wound its way through the soft ground and out to the ocean. So I will, once I've been through the gardens, I will take a look at the chine itself. One of the things I really like about Bournemouth is that there are tropical sort of palm trees everywhere. People's houses have them in their front and back gardens, along the beach, and this really feels like you could be in Jurassic Park. So there's a little area here, I'm not sure, I've never seen this used for anything, but it looks like it's been designed for something. Wow, these are enormous. Look at that one in the background. One of my biggest likes about Bournemouth in general is all of the parks are so well maintained and kept. I've never been to anywhere else in the UK, for that matter, where so much is invested in keeping the parks clean and tidy and well looked after. I mean, I'm in November at the moment, but that must look incredible in spring and summer. Which way do I want to go? I'm going to go this way so we can avoid crossing paths with too many people. All of the pine cones getting ready to drop. I mean, it just feels prehistoric, doesn't it? Hopefully this is capturing the scale. I was just thinking, you wouldn't be surprised if a Tyrannosaurus come running out, or a Stegosaurus. One thing about Bournemouth as well is all the benches have got a sort of a memory plaque on. Which is really quite sweet. Okay, this says this site is a site of special scientific interest. Interesting. Sorry, I'm saying Bournemouth, I might well be in Poole, it's sort of on the border. Bournemouth and Poole sort of blur into one. In fact, a large part of Bournemouth University is situated within Poole. I wondered what that noise was. It's the squirrels play fighting in the trees. I wonder if there's a lack of natural predators. I did see a fox yesterday. But when I say the squirrels are everywhere, they are everywhere. Loving life. Oh, I've just walked past a notice board. Let me see what that says. Alum Chine Tropical Gardens. The theft of any plants in this garden is a crime. Please report to the police. Welcome to Alum Chine Gardens. This isn't well kept, is it? The information has been covered with rare sheep-eating plant blooms. An evergreen perennial, Puya chilensis. It forms large, dense rosettes of grey-green strap-like leaves, blah 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 blah. The outer 2/3 of the leaf blade bear outward pointing spikes, which may be an adaptation to prevent herbivores from reaching the centre of the plant. The plant is believed to be hazardous to sheep and birds, which may become entangled in the spines of the leaves. If the animal dies, the plant may gain nutrients as the animal decomposes nearby, though this has not been confirmed. For this reason, Puya chilensis has earned the nickname the sheep-eating plant. If true, this would make Puya chilensis a proto-carnivorous plant. Wow. Commonly found in the hillsides of the Andes. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell from that picture which plant it's referencing, which is a shame. So many pine cones ready to drop. I mean, what a view. What a view. So the gardens goes all the way around. I'm going to follow it all the way around. We'll come out near the car park and then I'll walk down and have a quick look at the beach, and then I'll follow the chine upwards. There's a glorious suspension bridge, and I'll go as far as the suspension bridge before ceasing the video. So you've got a play area here, which is of course pirate themed, so it's a good destination for families. Excavation within the cliff face is strictly prohibited and carries a fine of up to £20,000. Wow. I am not going to walk up those steps. Cool little rope swing. You've got a nice restaurant, I can't remember what it's called. We'll have a look, we'll go past it. Nice restaurant just there. Literally for one spot it has everything. I'm not too sure what the treasure chest is for. Now the one thing I would say, if you ever decided you wish to come here, is there is car parking on site. The car parking in Bournemouth is horrifically expensive. On Google Maps there's a road that runs parallel that side and this side of the Chine, and I've just left my car up there. It's free, well I believe it's free, probably go back to a ticket. Right, let's have a quick wander down to the beach itself, and then we'll skip ahead and take a walk up the Chine and have a look at the Chine itself. Thank you. Some thick trunks on these. Could maybe excavate one in the dark of the night. It's a joke. That is a joke because, as you can see, there's CCTV everywhere. Now, even though this is some way away from the centre of certainly of Bournemouth town, and to the right as we look to the west, you know, if you continued that way you would reach the centre of Poole, you would reach Sandbanks, and then if you wanted to follow it all around, or you could get the ferry over there, you've got Swanage. Despite that, this area still gets incredibly busy in the summer, and it can be hard to move, hard to find a spot on the beach. What I would say is it's mid-November and it's still really busy. Of course helped by the fantastic weather. I mean, it's cloudy, but it's quite clear. No rain. Okay, I'm going to take us back up to the, I'll say the start of the Chine. It's not really, as it's technically where the Chine ends. And we'll have a walk up to the suspension bridge at the top. So this is the entrance to Alum Chine. The beach is down there. I just had a look at the car parking actually. So during the summer months it's approximately £3 an hour. Just be warned, if you do come, everywhere in Bournemouth uses an app to pay for parking. Now that's again not a great map because this plastic cover is pretty dirty, but you can see that's where we were just stood. the exit of the Chine to the beach. We're now here and we're going to walk up, and each side of this Chine is really steep valleys, steep slopes up to the top. There was a sign saying, "Don't feed a smidgen to the pigeon," and at the top I just saw a guy, elderly gentleman, massive bag of birdseed, massive bag of monkey nuts, and he was surrounded by pigeons, seagulls, crows and squirrels. So but you can see either side here you've got some absolutely beautiful properties. I mean, look at that one, that's overlooking the Chine and the ocean. It's a expensive place if you wanted to live here. And there's some really cool old architecture. You know, this leads up to somebody's back garden. There's no sort of signs to say how old that is, but I'm pretty sure there's some other interesting pieces as we go along. Look at the size of that pine in the background. My gosh, that must be 35, 40 meters tall. Absolutely insane. And yeah, one of the reasons I love this little Chine so much is because either sides, east, west and obviously north, you've got the hustle and bustle, busy roads, busy residential areas, and yet slap bang in the middle you've got this really tranquil space. And again you can see there's remnants of steps up here. Shall we have an adventure? I don't think it's going to lead anywhere. No, does it? I think it leads to a dead end. It leads to a dead end. There's a wall. Nimble as a bouncing goat, me. One of the videos that's going to go up on the new channel is I visited a place in Dorset called Alum Village. It's on the coastline. Unfortunately I had to use my phone, so I say unfortunately. I've reviewed the footage and it came out quite clear. But Alum Village was a village that was in the 1940s taken over by the MOD so that they could use the area to prepare for D-Day as a training area. And what a cool pairing of dogs. Yeah, so everybody was removed from the village in the 1940s and they never returned. It's part now of, well, it was sort of absorbed into Lulworth Ranges, an artillery training area, enormous training area. But what they've done with the village is preserved its history, and some of the buildings that are there are in incredible condition. You can go in and they've catalogued so much of the history with photographs and memorials and information. It's mind-blowing, so do please check that out. Okay, there's the suspension bridge, up high. And from my reading, this was built in the early 20th century. It doesn't give an exact date, but it's fascinating to think that that was built maybe 100 years ago or so, to bridge the gap between east and west. And then some modern day Tarzans have built some little rope swings. I remember the day that I discovered this. My car was up there along the road, and I discovered the bridge by accident and crossed the bridge and then came down the steps and discovered the Chine, and my mind was blown. I'd lived here for a few years at that point and had no idea that this area existed. So I'm going to go up the steps. I'm going to wait for the lady and her young kid to get up there, and then I'll show the bridge in a bit more detail. Okay, the coast is clear. Here we go. These are very steep, so I'm going to try and control my breathing so I don't pant down the camera. But I do want to capture the way up because you can see the property that's right on the edge of the ravine. I mean, you would put some faith in the engineers, wouldn't you? Okay, there's a sign saying pool 4 miles that way. Heavy duty cables there. And this is the suspension bridge. And this will lead me back to where my car is. And if you're interested, the bridge does wobble as you walk along it. You might be able to hear it. Wow, look at these trees. True literati. That's not my heavy breathing, it's a dog behind me. And here's the road. And you can see there's parking all along here, which you don't have to pay for. Though it is a 7-minute walk down to the Chine. So that's Alum Chine, that's Alum Chine Tropical Gardens, showing you a little bit of the beach. Hopefully that was enjoyable, and as I said at the start, if you do enjoy these sort of videos of me wandering around talking to myself, then please dig out the new channel, Scott Matthews Explores. I will put a link to the channel in the description of this one, so it's easy for you to find. And the intention is there'll be very regular content going on there of all sorts, from Tyneham Village like I described to what was the first one I put on there? Oh, in Oxford I went into Christchurch and did the tour. That video is now uploaded, but again it was shot on my phone, so the quality might not be the best, and it certainly didn't keep it as stable as my new Gucci camera that cost a fair bit of money, and then I feel paranoid walking around with it in my hand. But such is life. Anyway, that's me, that's a wrap. Scott Matthews Explores, if you want to see more of me waffling. Thank you again, all of you, for your kind comments and remarks and encouragement and feedback. And I said in a recent video I don't really like feedback, and I don't, good or bad, but you know, it is appreciated. So I'll catch you soon.